Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Patrick. Good to see you.
Welcome back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the second Mentor Q session today. I hope everyone have a nice session with Ryan today. Take out some golden nuggets. Think about every time when we go live, we will present some golden nuggets and take out the golden nuggets. It's so important. Also, if you rewatch the video, make sure that you take notes, find the golden nuggets, and use this. And I'm 100% sure if you was watching to Ryan, you will find there also something.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the session with Ryan is available on YouTube. Check it out. We went through option pricing, option valuation, how to look at risk. So very nice session. Before we start, or as always, a disclaimer for today. All right, so Patrick, today we have a very good session. I'm gonna go through some new product developments. So we have some new enhancement to our option screeners. We haven't really talked much about them in the past session, so we're gonna spend some time going through that. Option screeners are designed to kind of filter out a list of companies based on specific quantitative parameters. In particular, we're going to look at gamma levels, option volumes, and others, and show you how you can then use those to find interesting ideas. Look at how you can use some of our tools to analyze companies, and then we're going to talk about earnings. There's a lot of good company reporting. Like tomorrow we have Broadcom. Next week we have GameStop, we have Adobe, we have a lot of things. So we can show you how you can use our tool to kind of prepare and look at sentiment ahead of those earnings, and how you can use also our swing model for that. How does that sound?
That's good. I love the screener. So think about if you be in stock trader. I was for stock traders. We're using most of the time screeners or scanners. So if you're looking for stocks who have high volume, looking for many stocks, and we using every day, most of the time, the screeners, and we have also the tool here on Mentor Q, and it's fantastic that we can present some data. But I think it's also really important for you to show them how they can read the information. What are the meaning? And this is something I think we can now take a deep dive into it. And I would say, let's go.
Yeah. So first of all, to access the screener, you can first create a free account or a premium account. With the free account, you'll get access to one of the screeners. I'm going to show you which one. But once you create an account, you get access to your account dashboard, which is mentorq.com/account. Here you have all our tools. So if you are a premium subscriber, you have all our integration, you have access to our Discord community, all our guides. So all the documentation is also here. So if you are looking for information about the screeners, we have documentation here. So this is our guide, there's videos, and so on. So if we go back, let's go into the section of the screener. So here again, link to the guide, the same one that we saw, a link to the video. This is going to explain what the screener do, what type of screener we have. And then on the left-hand side, we divide the screeners by category. So the first one is our gamma screener. We're going to look at change in gamma and delta. So here, for example, we have change in JAX, change in DAX, negative change in DAX, and negative change in JAX. Largest DAX and JAX expiring in 2 weeks, very important. Like we want to look at gamma and delta that could affect price movement. But then we also have our gamma levels. So a lot of our users ask me, okay, I would love to receive a list of companies that are approaching the put support level because I really like that level. I base my trading based on that, or I like the core resistance, high vol level. So we have those there, and we're going to go into details about all of them. Then we have our open interest screener. So we have our call open interest, put open interest. We have our volatility, so high V rank, low heavy rank, highest implied volatility, lowest implied volatility, and then we have volume. So unusual option activity, unusual call option activity, all of those like really important metrics that can give you a list of stocks that could potentially move or could potentially move on the day or on the week and so on. So the first thing we want to look is if we click on the highest change in JAX. Let's start from the first one. So the first thing you see is the update. It was last updated last night. So this is data that you would have accessed this morning. So we're going to go into some example. Then you have a short description of the screener, and then you have a link to the guide, right? So very easy. If you don't know what, for example, the JAX means or what's the highest change in JAX means, you can look at it here. So again, why is this screener important? Market sentiment. It shows us like changes in gamma, potential market shift, like trader sentiment becoming more bullish or more bearish. You can use it for risk management or price movement and so on. Then if we scroll down, we get our list and we show you the top 20 stocks or asset. In this case, we have indices, stocks, etc. And then we have the column here. So if you addition to the tool, you can now sort by every different column. So again, you want to sort by spot price, by gamma, by name. You can have it there. And then you can also filter it by here. So very, very nice and user-friendly. You can see all the levels. You can see all the data here, IV rank, implied volatility, distance to the IV levels. So like this is one of the key levels that we have. So how far is the company, is the spot price from that level? But very important is really, okay, the highest JAX change. So we saw, for example, today, or yesterday from the day before, we saw a big increase in JAX on TLT, Pepsi, Under Armour, Clove. This is a good example. The stock was up 15% today. We can look at that as well. So very, very important. So here you have the list. Then we can also look at highest negative change in JAX, and then we can start drilling down on our analysis. So from yesterday close, so after close, we saw a big decrease in JAX on SPY, right? This is a top asset. 1.8 billion of JAX was removed from the day before, right? SPX, IWM, QQQ, right? NVIDIA, very important. So we have that list. What can we then do with it? Okay, so let's now move to the bot, right? And let's go and look, for example, at our first chart, which is the net JAX. And we want to look at SPY, right? We want to see, okay, what is the net gamma profile for SPY? So as you can see, if you're not familiar, the net JAX chart will show you the net gamma exposure at different strike price for all expiration or for multiple expiration. In this case, this chart will show you all the option chain data. So here we can see a lot of red bars on the 539, which is also our put support level here, 540 actually. And then we see our core resistance level at 570. Okay, interesting. But how has this changed compared to the day before? So let's go back in time. So we can click on the back arrow and we can see, oh, the picture is completely different from the day before. Before we had a lot of green bars. We can also see that the core resistance is 570. The put support is 540. Now we can also look and go back to yesterday. So the put support is still at 540, but look at all the negative here that we have. So all these red bars that kind of started accumulating. So as a result, we saw like a big repositioning of the market yesterday before the close. So we see this data from the close, but we can do the same analysis if we look at the multi-expiration. So we can look at the SPY again, and we can see, again, look at your eyes, red and green, see where those bars are, and we can go back in time as well. So this chart shows you multiple expiration, right? So a very interesting picture. So this was as of close of, Friday. Here you have a lot of green bars, and look at yesterday. We see a lot of red bars. So a big repositioning has happened on SPY. We can also do the same thing on QQQ. So let's go and look at QQQ. And again, QQQ was also one of the assets that we had here. So we saw 600 million of net gamma being removed compared to the day before. Let's look at the chart. Very similar picture. We have a lot of green bars here, but we have more kind of red bars here, okay? Another thing we can look at is the matrix. So if we open our option matrix, we can look at SPY, and we can see, for example, that we are in negative gamma. So here we see our exposure. We saw a big change in gamma here, and we can look at what expiration were affected. So we saw a big negative gamma increase in the monthly for September, but we also saw a big negative gamma increase for the next weekly, so the 6th, right? So very important. Now, going back to our swing trading, let's look at our swing model. And we have a 5-day swing levels. We type in our command, swing 5 days. Let's look at SPY. Okay, so these are the levels for today. So yesterday, we see a an upper band, right? So with the red band, so it's a bearish kind of like sentiment, right? Bearish bias. But what was it the day before that? So we see actually that the lower band is there. So there was a bullish bias the day before, but then we shifted to a bearish bias, right? So at that, like can give you like a picture for where is the market going, what are the people, what is the participants positioning, and so on. So that's kind of like very interesting. So now, I don't know, Patrick, if you have questions on this so far.
Yeah, I have no question because for me it's crystal clear, but I will add something. And with the screeners, with the swing trading model, with the option matrix, what you say. So it's also a tool for you to understand the news. So what's in the news, what events we have, and then you can look into this, what impact this was having on the market based on the options market. So this is also something really, really cool to review also the market. And maybe you can you can share something from Tim today, what he was writing down about the bonds and all the stuff. Because we have Tim in our community. He is our macro specialist. I call him the Mentor Q Bloomberg terminal, and he write crazy stuff. And sometimes I don't understand what he was writing, because I'm not a macro guy. I'm retired, but I was only a futures trader. But with the information what we get maybe from Tim on the macro channel, and the information what we have based on our levels, on the screeners, we can connect the dots so easy together. And this is something what is really cool. And this makes the tool much better and much easier to understand. Here's the chart. And if you get the information all together, and it's so powerful.
Yeah.
And they were speaking all the time about this in the trading chat. And if you be a part of the trading chat in the community as a premium member, perfect. It's amazing. You can connect the dots and you understand much easier how to read the market. And I think that's one of the biggest part what every trader should looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's all like connected information, right? So the key is obviously not only having access to the data, but really being able to make those connections, right? So that's kind of like the goal of the tools that we have developed and the screeners that you find here. Another like very interesting ones are the gamma levels. Again, they will tell you here, short description, what does the put support screener. You have a link to the guide. If you don't know what the put support level is, you can click here and you can access all the information about the put support videos. So everything is available to you here, very easy. And then here we see, for example, like in this case, we have Apple is approaching put support, right? What could that mean? Like, is there going to be an inflection point? Is it going to be a bounce back? We have snow here. We have QQQ, right? Very, very easy. And then we can go back to our chart and we can start plotting our levels and see what happens, right? So as you can see, put support, you saw this in the screener. We saw the the QQQ in this case, opening below the put support, big reaction zone here. So very, very, let's put it here. So big reaction zone around here. We had the retest of the put support around here. So clearly, very important level, very important reaction zone. Again, this was available to you as of last night directly here. So you see QQQ. Let's see what Apple did. Right. So if we don't have the levels, we can go in our bot, very easy. I'm going to add the levels for Apple. Copy them, go back into my chart, opening the level, boom. Again, in this case, this was a big reaction zone towards the downside. So we opened, we went all the way to the eyeball level. We also have a screener here for the eyeball level. So if we go back here, we have our eyeball level. Eyeball level is, again, a guide, and it's typically the level that dictates the change between, or the gamma shift between positive and negative gamma. So as you can see, price opens below that, reaches the eyeball level, boom, bounces back. Very important reactions on there as well.
So based on my experience, so when I was trading the NQ, most of the time the NQ, sometimes also some QQQs by ETFs, but every time when we came to the high wall level or high wall 0 DTE level, I was calling this the money printing level. Why I was calling this the money printing level? Because every time when we came in this area, we see some price action. I have no idea if this goes to the long, if this goes more to the short. But the case, what I know, every time when we came in this area, we get the price action. And as a trader, we need volatility, we need price action to print money. So this is why I personally call this the money printer level.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we can go from in our screener, we can see, for example, all the different companies. We had Reddit close to the eyeball level, Microsoft last night. So yeah, so you can again filter by name, filter by ticker, very, very interactive. We have the different levels here, so we can see immediately our expected move, minimum and maximum. We are our implied volatility, our IV rank, gamma condition, very important, right? Because again, if we approach the eyeball level and we are also in negative gamma, that means that there could be an increase in volatility, right? So we want to monitor that. Like in the case of Microsoft, let's see the chart from Microsoft here. Again, let's go get our levels. Very easy. Go back to our bot, add Microsoft levels. All right, so stock open at a gap down. Again, we saw big reaction, put support, 0 DTE, big retest of the eyeball levels. So look how good this is actually. We have one test here.
This is exactly what I mean, Fabio. This is why I call this the money printing level. Exactly because of this. Every time when we touch this level, we came in this level, the volatility kicks in. For us, volatility is our currency as a trader. This is how we're making money. Yeah. And this is why it's a money printing level. Mm-hmm. This is the best opportunity. Set your alerts on the high wall or the high wall 0 DT. This is something where you have to be aware of. Yeah. And this is some really friendly advice from my person.
Yeah, and you now have a screener here, so every day it will be updated. You can see the last update was from last night. This is available to you at around 7 p.m. Eastern time, so you can prepare for the next day. You can put on the chart. You can load the data. And yeah. Other things, open interest, right? This is another important part. We want to look at how the market is repositioning. So are they opening new contract? Are they buying? Are they repositioning on the stock. So, for example, we saw a big increase in open interest on Nvidia, on SPY, as we saw, IWM, Tesla. So here you can monitor the positive change in open interest, but also the negative change, right? So in this case, we saw a big negative change in McDonald's, MPC, and so on. Very, very important. Then you can also look at companies with the highest put open interest, right? So where is the market repositioning on puts, right? So we saw SPY. A lot of puts were open on SPY. We saw Nvidia, right? IWM, QQQ. Then we have our highest call open interest, right? So we want to see where is the market positioning themselves. So we have our call open interest here as well.
And think about, Fabio, we get also the questions about how the people can prepare for a gamma squeeze. Is there some way how our scanners can help or our tools can help? Because this is something what is really, really important for the people.
Yeah, I mean, the gamma scanner is it's possible. It's challenging. You need to combine a lot of different data. So you need to combine not only the option data, you need to combine the short interest of companies, which is also another data set that is needed for that. You also need to combine any catalyst, right? So, is there an earnings release, or is there like
okay,
an event?
let us making a deep dive so that everyone, so we are record this, yeah?
Yeah.
And we will make a short video about this. So let's take a deep dive. So what they should looking first, second, and third, how they can look for a gamma squeeze on his own self. So what they need to look into this.
Yeah. So the first thing would be the short interest or short interest ratio. So you want to look at companies that are heavily shorted, right? So that there's already like some movement there, right? So looking at that data, and sometimes it can be challenging to find that data. So like if you want to look at this, you can access through different platforms, but sometimes it could be expensive. So it's not always accessible. Important data set because it's telling you like how many fund managers, how many investors are shorting the stock, right? That's important. That's what happened with GameStop, right? Was a heavily shorted stock, right? So a lot of people were shorting it, and that's one area. The second is the options activity, right? So is the gamma on the option side increasing? Where are people positioning themselves? Is it more on the call gamma side or the short gamma side? So that can give you an idea of, hey, what happens if there is a news on a stock that is heavily shorted, and there is also a lot of option activity there, because obviously we know that if there is a short in the stock and the price continues to go higher, then the market makers need to buy more underlying as the options become in the money. That's exactly what happened with GameStop. So then you want to monitor that. And then you want to monitor any potential events that could affect the price movement of the stock, right? So any earnings release, any catalyst, like for example, if you're looking at healthcare companies, like is there any drugs in the pipeline that are going to be approved by the FDA? So all those kind of things that could potentially move the price higher. And then obviously monitor the short in the market of that stock, gamma levels, and catalysts.
That's good. But I think I will add something. And when we're looking for a squeeze, okay, so you get most of the time the information someone is pushing the stock because there's highly shorted. We see pre-market moves with, let's say for example, 60% to the upside, and then we can look into this. Okay, we see stock X with 60% to the upside. Then we can go into the mentor queue. We can look into the data, and the good thing is we have the options data before the market is open, because when the options data, Fabio, get affected on the stock market, open.
7 p.m. Yeah, 7 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern.
And this is something cool. So then you can, if you understand and if you learn how the options market is working, you can predict a little bit better what's happened when the stock market is open. And this is something really cool because you get the information before. And this is also something what the guys have who pump the market, or the big ones who pump the market, and they want taking out some liquidity. They're looking also in the options market. How much liquidity brings the options market when the market is open? And this is something where you should look into it also. Don't forget it. So there's the pre-market pump and dump, you can name it, or the squeeze, but you can look into the options market. Is the options market also confirm the pump and dump, or if there's something happened in the options market? Therefore, you can use our tool very well.
And I can give you a live example. I literally look at this company like 10 minutes before we connected. But if we look at our highest change in Jack screener, we now see that Clove is here, right? So it was one of the top companies that were available in the screener. So I obviously don't know anything about the company. I haven't read the news, but I know something is happening. And I can now go and plot my levels. And as you can see, now the stock was up like 15% today. So again, I haven't looked at the news. I am not sure what's going on with this company. But again, we have the list here. Again, we can further our analysis. We can understand if there's any catalyst there, and that could have given you like a nice squeeze there.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I mean. So the stock market is open, and we get in a pre-market, of course, the push before. So this is the gap. So what you can see from the put support, the gap between this. But the options market confirms this also, and this is why I will not say this is why. Sorry for this wording, but this could be some indies for this, that the move is not done. So the move is already there. Maybe we can push this to a crazy stock hold. Maybe we can squeeze this much higher. But with the options data, you get all the information, and that's the crazy part.
Yeah. And then always look at these like big levels, right? So let's imagine that you were in this company and you are riding the uptrend. Like, where do you stop? Where do you take your profit? Like, always monitor these big levels, because again, like it went, like we are 2 cents from core resistance, right? So very important.
Okay. I think we can give them some insights who have no idea about the options market, call resistance, put support. Don't look to resistance, don't look to support, otherwise you will freak out about the names support and resistance. It's not like resistance and support. But if you see the call resistance, or if you see the put support, or if you see gamma wall, or you see call resistance 0 DTE and high wall 0 DTE, this is most of the time a target and a warning signals where people can possible take out some profits, where market change. And this is something really cool for us. If we know where we can set our target, where we can say, okay, we have not to draw this anymore with support and resistance. Now we get clear data from the options market. We know exactly what the options traders are targeting. And this is something what we can use. And this is so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think let's pause here, Patrick. Let's see if there is any questions from the audience, and then we can look at some earnings and some data that we can analyze to prepare ourselves.
Yes, let's go.
So guys, please, if you have a question, post it in the comments. We can see it here. We'll reply to that. But yeah, the option screeners, very powerful. Again, the goal is really, you don't want to spend 3 hours a day looking at the market. You want to have an idea of what's happening. So the option screener can help you filter out some of the noise that you might see in the market, and can help you focus on things that could be relevant for you. So you can find the different screeners here. We're going to have a gamma screener too, like a changing positive and negative gamma screener. We're going to have a swing trading screener. So this is just going to get nicer and more powerful.
And also we have the volatility there and the volume.
Yeah.
So I think this is also really, really interesting when we're looking into the high EV rank. So to know, okay, where we have strong volatility, which stock is where we can expect it to move.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. No questions so far. I don't know if you, Patrick, have questions for me.
No, so the only thing what we was covering is like we was speaking about the screener, how you can use it. We was explain why is this important. We was speaking about the gamma squeeze. I think this is something what is really important for you to understand what data you need on your own side to figure this out.
Yeah.
And the next thing is when we came now to the earnings, and when we're speaking about swing tradings, let's always connect the dots. So last week when we were speaking about swing tradings and we were speaking about earnings, this is something what I was saying before. We was giving you some golden nuggets. Let's look into the last replay. What we was doing about this, we was sharing crazy insights. I will speak about how you should use analyst targets. You remember we were speaking about Nvidia, that the crazy analyst was targeting 164, I think, something like this, if I remind. So sorry, I'm an old man, 40 years old. But 165 for, I think, something like this was targeting, and we were speaking about how you can use this as a swing trader with our models. Is this also confirmed? How you can get prepared for this? And this is something what we was sharing to yesterday, the last time, and now we will share also some other crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest important thing. This is only one of the reasons why we're alive. We want to educate you also, but your homework outside, connect the dots.
Yeah. Yeah, and what you see here in this chart is something that's going to come, I think, as early as next week, which is really our swing trading levels on TradingView. So what we saw before is our gamma levels, the one that you see here. Those are obviously very important, very relevant. Our swing levels are tailored for investors who are looking more longer term in the future, 5 days, 20 days. Maybe you are not in front of your screen every morning. Maybe you just want to like get a feel before the market opens, after the market closes, and you want to get an idea where the movement can be. So that's why we developed our swing trading model. So the swing trading model, and let's go back here 1 second. It's basically a model that is available within our membership. And basically you can access it here on any stocks, indices, and ETFs. We have almost 1,000 tickers that are available there. So I can show you now how to get it. Essentially, it's made of 3 components. We have an upper band, a lower band, and a risk trigger. Every day, you're going to see 2 levels, either an upper band or a risk trigger, or a lower band, sorry, and a risk trigger. So the risk trigger is always there. It could be above or below the upper band or the lower band. And the upper band and the lower band will also give you a kind of like bullish or bearish bias. So if you see, for example, a red line here, we see a bearish bias. If you see a green line here, so if you see a lower band, then we see a bullish bias. And the model is, again, it's a volatility model. So we have a 5-day swing, 5-day price band, but it's also like a directional model. So it's looking at things like gamma, delta, other Greeks, momentum, and so on. So to get the level, we can go in our chart, and if we look at, for example, some earnings, so we can start with AVGO, so Broadcom. Here we can look at the swing level on AVGO, so we just type in the ticker. So now we can see the chart. So let's look at the chart in details. So here we have, as of yesterday, so the model will be running again. It's probably going to start running in about 10 minutes. So we have a lower band of 141 and a risk trigger of 163, okay? Here we see how the models kind of perform over time. In this case, we had a 69% success rate for the past 36 days. We define success if the price closes above the lower band or closes below the upper band. So we want to make sure that the model can tell you the volatility of the asset. And why is that? Because that's important for you, because you can know how much you can risk, but also how much you can make and how much you can lose. So it can become a target, it can become an area of interest. So here we have our levels there. We can do the same on all the other companies. So let's look at, for example, our swing level for NVIDIA. So here we can see that our lower band is 98 and our risk trigger is 117, but we can also look at historically how that has changed. So from the day before yesterday, the lower band moved from 112 to 98. And then we can also go back in time and we can see that the lower band 3 days ago was 109. All right, so now, if we go back to the 29th, right, those is a 5-day level, right? So on the 29th, going forward 5 days, that would bring us to the day after tomorrow. This level could still be valid. So the lower band that was provided on the 29th is valid for the next 5 trading days. So how can I have that in my chart so that I can then look at targets, stop loss, profit targets, and so on. So now we're going to have that available here. And this is what exactly we are looking at it when we look at this data. So here we have our risk trigger of August 30, our risk trigger of August 29, we have our lower band of August 29 and our lower band of August 28. So those are the historical, still valid swing trading levels that are available on your chart. And here we have our lower band of yesterday, so the lower band of September 3rd. So again, this can become your target area, like Patrick always shows. This can become your roadmap.
Yes. How much second it needs? So let's check.
So now we have in 10 seconds. Now we have our roadmap for NVIDIA for the next few days, right? So
amazing, yeah. And we can fill the gap with the Fibonacci if the gap is too big. So to have an idea where we are now. So really easy and simple. So look at this, how the Fib was working. Perfect. I really like to see this. It's magic. But therefore we need first to map out the levels here.
Yeah, so exactly. And those are the levels that you would find here, translated into a trading view indicator, very easy on the chart. And again, we can do the same thing on other companies like Tesla. Sorry. So now we have our levels here. And again, we can do the same thing on Tesla. We can build our roadmap very quickly. And yeah, very easily.
Let's call it the swing trading roadmap.
Yeah. There you go. And again, we can connect the dots by doing this. Okay. And now we have our roadmap for the next few days on Tesla in this case. We can take off the indicator, and now we have a nice and clean chart here.
Perfect, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Simple and easy, so you don't need any big work. It's amazing.
Yeah. So we have some question from Nico. All right. So let's put it here. So I have a question for a gamma condition and the net JAX chart. All right. So if I have a full green net JAX chart, what does it mean? There's another question. Why is the gamma regime positive and so on? So basically what we do with the model, if we go back to our net gamma exposure, what we show you here, it's the net gamma for every strike price. So in this case, we see that at let's open it up. At the 485 level, we have a positive net gamma, while at the 461 level, we have a negative net gamma, right? So here we show you where the reaction zones can be by looking at the net gamma. if we go back to the matrix, here instead, we show you all the option chain. So here is all the different expirations from now till, again, we go until 2026 in this case. And then the column that you want to look for when you look at gamma condition. So gamma condition is really a positive or negative gamma, meaning like it dictates the way that the market makers are going to hedge. If the market is in negative gamma, meaning that there is more negative gamma, so there's more put option activity, and or if the market is in positive gamma. So here you can see the number here. So whenever you see in the matrix that there's a red here and there's a negative number, then you can also confirm back and you can look at our liquidity snapshot tool that will simplify that for you. So if we look at SPY, here you can see that we are in negative gamma. If you want to see how negative we are, you can go back to the matrix, you can look at the numbers. You can also go back to our screeners, highest negative change in JAX, and look at asset that could be there. So in this case, we see a change in JAX of 1.8 billion compared to the day before. So there's a lot of tools that you can use to analyze that. And why is that important? Because if we are in positive gamma, that means that we can potentially expect lower volatility. If we are in negative gamma, we can potentially expect a higher volatility. So that is why that is important for you, because as a trader, if I know that Tesla is in negative gamma, I know that if the price bounces back from this level, potentially it could reach my target much quicker than if we are, for example, in positive gamma, because there's probably going to be expected less volatility.
Yes, that's correct.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that answered the question, Nico.
Yeah, we have also some community questions, nothing to do with swing trading, but I think because we are live, so we have also respect our community, that we can cover 1 or 2 questions from our community members, what we have today. What do you think from you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we get the question from from one of our community member about our blind spots and about our mental Q levels, the gamma levels. So when we're looking for the NQ, when we're looking for ES, when we're looking for crude oil, when we're looking for gold, let's stay on gold. How they can use the gamma levels what we have on GZZ, for example, and they won't convert this in the micro, from micro to mini. So how they can convert this?
Yeah, so first of all, the conversion should already be done. Let me see. Okay, now it's done on the, so for example, the conversion is done at the indicator level on the generic. So if you get ES and you type in MES, the levels are already converted there. So the indicator already does the conversion on the generic. But if you want to do it on the actual contracts, if we look at GC, then we go here, we see GCZ, right? To convert this, it would be very, very simple. You open up the indicator, and then you just come here and you say from GC Z to MGC, Z, and then just type in manual ratio of 1, and then we can go back MGC, and now the levels are there.
Yeah,
very
simple
easy.
And easy. And you can do this also with the blind spot indicator. So if you have the blind spots from GZZ on your indicator, put this in the indicator, and then make the auto conversion. It's simple and easy. You have not to go to the MIT. We will do the work for you. We take care of you.
Yeah, so here, same thing with blind spots. I go on my GCZ ticker, convert to my MGC, apply our manual ratio of 1, and now we're going to have our blind spot here.
Perfect. Yeah, Andre, it's for you. And we get the question from Scott in the community. It's about our live stream.
Yeah.
Patrick and Fabio, why did you say the swing trade levels will be still valid when NVIDIA price hit the LB level from 830, if I am reading it correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. So the swing levels are 5 days in the future, right? So the model is looking at five trading days. So if we look at the August 30, August 30 was Friday, so 5 trading days would be the 6th or the 5th. Yeah, the 6th. So those levels that you would have got on August 30 are valid for 5 trading days, right? So that's why when we go here on NVIDIA via the bot, you're going to always see the latest 5 days. So those are the levels that are still kind of in play, because obviously that's how the level works. So so here you have 27 is still in play, 28 is still in play, 29 is still in play, right? So you see them here. And we're only going to show you the latest so the 5 days of levels that are still kind of like in play by the model.
I hope, Scott, this will answer your question. Thank you for your support ticket. So you can see how nice our support is working. I will see this directly on my screen, support ticket, and here you get the answer directly live. It's amazing.
I love it. All right. Any other question, guys?
Let us know. Squeeze us. Please squeeze Fabio. Ask him some other questions about scammer squeeze, something like this.
Yeah. So I think I want to maybe announce some interesting things that are coming very, very shortly. So these levels will be pushed to the bot over the next kind of week and a half. We hope as early as next week. No, definitely next week, as early as Monday, but probably not Monday. So as early as mid next week, we're probably going to have this in the bot. And again, we have this on SPY, I believe. No, we don't have it on SPY. I have it on SPX. No, I don't have it. NVIDIA. We have it on Tesla for sure. Yeah, so we will have those in the bot. The next thing we're doing, we're going to have blind spots available for our NinjaTrader and Sierra Chart users. So those will be automatically updated. Again, as early as next week. We're going to have a new enhancement of our NinjaTrader indicator that will allow the conversion. So you'll be able to do exactly what we did here. So convert levels from one asset to the other one. Very easy. That's being built right now. We're under testing. Yeah, those are kind of like the very short-term things that are coming. So a lot to see.
And what is on the roadmap? So for the people to have more interesting in MentorQ, you can sign up for a yearly subscription. You get a very nice discount at the end of the stream, but that you can have an idea what we're working on. So you can give them a little bit a roadmap for the next 6 months, where we're working on, what we're doing, what we improve. I think this would be very nice for the people.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of roadmap, the two big things that we are working on, it's intraday levels, so intraday data. We're going to have a big release for Black Friday in November. So stay tuned for that one, because that's when we're going to have our intraday levels. The other big thing is integrations, right? So the levels will update intraday, but how can we bring those levels into an actionable format that you can then use in your trading platform? So we are working on new integrations. So we're going to integrate with Quantower, we're going to integrate with ATAS, we're going to integrate with Bookmap. We're also going to enhance our NinjaTrader integration and our Sierra Chart. So those are kind of like 5 platforms that we believe will cover the majority of our users. Obviously, TradingView, again, we're going to increase that, so that's nothing is changing there. But being able to have those levels updating in real time in a very, very easy format. So we're building also APIs, connections, historical data, all of that stuff. So that's also very important. And as a user, everything will be integrated for you in a matter of clicks. So again, increase your usability, increase your actionability, and make you obviously more actionable, more prepared when trading. So I think those are the 2 big things we're working on right now.
Yeah, and maybe Fabio will kill me after this. So not live in the stream, but after this. Because we have really big questions in the community, and I think it's very fair to answer the questions. So the question number 1 is about the VIX levels. Is there something in the roadmap about the VIX levels?
Yeah.
So maybe you can say something about this.
Yes, we are working on it. And again, we listen very carefully to every comment that you guys write. So yeah, the VIX level are also part of the roadmap. So when we develop those integration, we will have different categories of levels. We will have our blind spots on every ticker. That's another big one. We will have our VIX level, we will have our swing trading levels, and we will have our gamma levels, end of day and intraday. So again, allowing you to kind of like use the data based on your strategy. So absolutely.
Okay. So crazy. So let's talk about this again. So you get the Q levels, the gamma levels. You get the blind spots on every crazy ticker. Amazing. You get the swing trading levels. Holy moly. Yeah. And then you get also the VIX levels. Oh, man, we have Christmas time soon.
No, and then also the intraday levels. That's the important part.
Oh, and the intraday. I missed this. Oh, how I could miss this.
But then we're also doing like some crazy things. So we're going to develop historical data. So for example, if you are a NinjaTrader user, you'll be able to plot historical data, run backtesting, and do all that, crazy stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of things coming. And yeah, the next couple of months will be very, very exciting.
And yeah, but okay, now let's speak about the pricing. So maybe you can have now a 25 discount. You can use live 25 to get 25% off, because you know it exactly. Every tool will add something new, have more value. And maybe this is now the perfect time for you to grab a really nice discount on your yearly subscription. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you obviously join our yearly plan, you also get access to our academy, which is also very important because, like, just to give you an idea, like we have this guy here, Patrick, has been going live at 6 a.m. for the past for 20. I counted the number of lessons; it was 28. So here you have Patrick going live for 1 hour and a half from July 22nd all the way to October 23rd. So like 28 trading sessions with Patrick, creating a roadmap, building a plan, looking at futures. All this is available here. Like all the recordings are here. So, I mean, this is incredible. Like 28 days.
But also give a shout out for Doc. So we have the SPX
absolutely
meeting.
Absolutely. So we have also Doc, Punk, and Tim. They are also every morning live at 8 a.m. So if you're on a premium Discord, let's go here. You will see here we have our daily plan 8 a.m. If you are an option seller, if you are a index futures trader, so these are great because we look at macro, we look at strike prices on the SPX, mostly on the SPX, but that can give you a really good idea of what to expect for the day. So here we have also our daily plan. So we started on August 15. We have all daily recordings here available. If you're a premium member, you can also see the live sessions every day, and they will be posted here, and then you can access them within the academy as well.
And don't forget, you get also the online course, How to Build Your Trading Roadmap. I think this is 90 minutes. We're going through every step, how you use the Fibonacci, how you can map this out, where you should looking for. We have also users who speak about his trading roadmap, how they drawing out the roadmap. We have the online course timing, setup and location, how you can plan your trade much better. There are many courses, and as you know, yes, Ryan, thank you, man. Yeah, Doc is also amazing. I really appreciate what he's doing.
Doc, we have 3 traders that are really, really amazing, and I really want to thank them. And then we also have Bart is part of our scalping room here. So a lot of really good stuff.
And don't forget Steve. So Steve is also doing a really nice job on the futures room.
Absolutely.
And as you know, so I'm retired at the moment. Not at the moment. It will be retired for life. So, but I have enough time, so I get depressed. I was telling Fabio before we started the live session, man, Fabio, I get depressed, man. It feels like I have so much time, and also my mind goes crazy with me. So what is this meaning? I'm working also on crazy stuff. Next week you will see something what has happened also in our community. We will have a new room. This will be amazing. We will not name it now. You will see it next week. This will be crazy. This will be help you really crazy. I will promise you. I will put everything in this, what I can do based on my experience. And also, we're working on new online courses. So there will be in really soon, I think next week, maybe we do this in the community, or we're doing this on YouTube. We're making a new online courses about the blind spots. What are the blind spots, how they calculated, where the idea came from, how you should trade this, and all the crazy stuff, all the questions what you have. We were doing an online course, and there will be much more online courses. I have so much to tell about, and I have so much time. So you will get something 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing.
All right. Last questions, my friend. Last questions. We have 2 minutes left. If you have no question, I have a question for Fabio before he asks me.
I love your questions.
Okay, so you was today live with Ryan. What was your biggest learning on this session? What was your personally golden nugget?
So today's session was a different one because it was more technical. So obviously it was based on option pricing, and Ryan was great because he was showing how to look at risk from a market maker perspective, because he was an ex-market maker. So we are partnering with Ryan because we are working on new models. So bringing like what's really institutional to the retail trading desk, so that you guys can actually leverage the same information. But the goal is really not only giving you the information, but simplifying that, because what Ryan was showing today was obviously quite complex, had a lot of macros, a lot of Excel, but like actually taking that and being able to simplify and understand the principle behind gamma scalping, behind Greeks, behind risk was very important. So I think he did a great job. And if you guys have not seen it, just go on our YouTube channel and you can access the recording under our live sessions. If you go on our live session, we had our option risk and managing risks. It was a great session. We also have an Excel file available in the membership, so you can actually use it to kind of price your option portfolio. But I think it was very important because we're trying to really take really complex information and simplifying it so that you can actually be more actionable. And that's the whole goal of the different models. If you want to learn more about the models, go on our website, look under products, and this will show you all the different models that are available, momentum models, blind spots, gamma levels, swing trading models, and so on. Option screeners, of course.
Amazing. And also, can you? Let me get the HI. Can you go again in the live session from Mentor Q?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's amazing. Tomorrow we have our futures trading insights, and we have the bar by bar analysis. So the bar by bar analysis, this is something what I personally like the most, but I need your help, friends. Everyone who's now listening, please send us an email. Please send us a message in the Discord, maybe to me, maybe to Fabio, info@mentorq.com, and send us your trading stuff, what you was trading, where you need help, and then we can go bar by bar in taking the analysis. Also, you can come live with us if you want. If you not want, you can send us only a screenshot what you was taking, your trades, and then you get the feedback from us. And this is a really nice opportunity. This is why we was doing this, the bar by bar analysis.
Yeah.
But for this, we need your help. So we need you, because this is a session for you.
Yeah.
Only as a reminder.
And
maybe Ryanda. So you'll be all day here. I like it. I love it. Maybe you can send us an example, and we will make some review for you. What do you think? Or Andre, you can send us your trades, and then we will speak about this.
Yeah. And I think we had Anna on the last session, right? And you went, if you guys want to look at the recording here of the last couple of weeks, I think one of the comments we got is that that session was really inspiring for her and really helped her understand maybe some of the mistakes she made on that day. So that's a great feedback for us.
Yeah, so yeah, 100% sure, Andre and Ryanda. So only negative trades, only bullshit trades. Fuck, send us this. So this is the best case. So if you're taking bullshit trades, if you're taking losing trades, that's the best. We can look into this, and then everyone can learn from the mistakes. This is the best. Send us this, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But don't. This doesn't mean that you take tomorrow any shitty bullshit trades that you can come live with us. Yeah, so please don't bullshit any trades.
Yeah. All right. So looking forward to have you guys on Friday. Send us a message. And for all of you, again, thank you for watching. Lots of people tune up. I hope this was helpful. Again, you can find us at mentorq.com. If you want to send us an email, if you have questions on what we talked about today, info@mentorq.com. And again, if you want to join our membership, use code LIVE25. You get a 25% discount. We want to thank you for taking the time to be with us. It's 1 hour. It's a lot of time for you guys, but we hope that we really help you understand some of the new things that are coming and some of the exciting things.
And when you want to appreciate our time and you have really interesting in Mentor Q, of course, you will not use the discount code. You pay the full price. Everyone paid it. Boss is paying every time the taxes, the full price, everything. So if you be a boss, you don't take the discount code. All right?
Awesome.
All right, my friends.
Great. Thank you.
See us tomorrow. Futures Trading Insights.
See you tomorrow, guys. Have a good day. Bye.